Good morning, precious people. Here we are again. It's another fresh day. I'm so thankful for your irreplaceable light and the experience and wisdom that you bring into the world. Today is a gift filled with possibility. So let's open it with kindness and curiosity. And remember, we're all still growing and learning. So let's check in with each other. Grab your nearest drink. I have a cup of tea. It's huge, do you see? It's almost as big as my head. If I put it closer to the camera, it's bigger than my head. But it's tea I got from the cruise I was just on. It's masala chai. So good. And then, of course, some water. Again, so good. And I did comb my hair today, but I don't do much with my hair. I just use shampoo. Every once in a while I'll use conditioner, especially if I have a little sample conditioner from a hotel or something. So yeah, I just use shampoo and then a comb. That's pretty much all I do to my hair. So it's kind of like it's just its own thing. It does its own thing. And it's completely clean, but I don't know, my hair's so thin that I feel like it looks like it could be greasy or something. But yep, it's clean. It's just clean and straight and combed, and it's how it is. And sometimes it touches my face, and that bugs me. So or my neck. I don't know. Some people, I see beautiful women with their hair like parted, and it's like this, like touching their face, and I'm like, how do you do that? I don't even like it touching my ears. So, yeah, it's doing its own thing today, I feel like, as it always does, I guess. So, let's take a deep breath. Let's get checked in with ourselves. Are you ready? Feel tight in my neck. I think it was from going to my screening yesterday for this pharmaceutical study, and I'm signing up to get blood draws, and sometimes up to 12 or 14 blood draws a day. So you'd think I'd be okay with them. But when I get a blood draw and I know it's going to be multiple vials, I typically get very lightheaded. There's been a few times when I've had to have a gurney come and take me away and let me recover. And most recently, my experience probably two years ago or 1 year ago at my regular doctor, they took 6 vials of blood, and they were telling me, cough, cough, laugh, think of something funny, tell me where you're going later today. And they got a fan, and they're like fanning me. They put a cool rag on my neck. Yeah, my vision was going like this. All this darkness was creeping in. So, yeah, when I'm looking at getting a bunch of blood drawn for tests like yesterday, I typically freak out just a little bit. Or my body reacts. I've heard it's like a vagus nerve thing. Oh, what was it? Before surgery, they were placing the line in my hand, and my feet were dangling off the table. It was this up high table, and I was like kind of leaning forward. And when the guy was placing the line, I was watching, and then I was and I almost fell off of the table. Then they had to give me, I feel like it was a caffeine shot, but it was something else. I'm thinking norepinephrine, but that can't be right. Anyway, they had to give me, the anesthesiologist who was placing the line had to give me something to pull me out of my shock, I guess, in order for them to then put me under the... Anyway, it was weird, and during that surgery, I had feelings and sounds and things, so I don't know if it messed up my anesthesia during the surgery either. So, I wanted to talk about something today. That was all just, oh yeah, taking the breath and doing the body scan. I'm like, why am I feeling like this tense neck? It's because I was really kind of stressed yesterday. Not looking forward to that blood draw, but I made it through. It was fine. Actually, it was the best probably blood draw I've had in a long time. Oh, cat. His paws stuck on me. Thanks, bruh. No, don't do that. No. Okay. I have... My goodness, I'm a mess, you guys. I have so much to talk about. But let me take another drink. So, today's Tuesday. It's been Saturday since another assassination attempt on the President of the United States. And I guess in this case, the person was going to get as many cabinet members as possible, too. But I had already chosen my topic for today. I had already chosen my topic for today based on this episode of the Scott Adams School. I think it might have been Thursday last week, where they had Michael Malice on, and he was talking about how, I believe he was quoting Scott Adams, where 30% of people don't have a sense of humor. And I guess this kind of ties in with a little bit of what I want to talk about today. I'm going to try to keep this under a 19-minute, 59-second video so I can post it on Instagram. There's a limit on Instagram, so I try to keep it within that time frame. Okay. Michael Malice recently shared a perspective that stuck with me. Roughly 30% of the population, that's 1 in 3 people you talk to on a daily basis, do not have functional software to understand humor or sarcasm. They're not trying to be difficult, these people. They're literally processing the world differently than you are. And if you're a curious, like, witty person, you're like constantly broadcasting your thoughts in a language that like a third of people don't understand. And it doesn't make these people bad or ignorant or whatever. It's just, it was just kind of eye-opening. Like 30% of people do not have a sense of humor or understand humor or have that software in their brain to process humor. So I asked what was the psychology behind this, and why can't they get a joke? Science points to 2 major factors. One's called cognitive empathy, and one's called the theory of mind. Theory of mind is the ability to understand that someone else's thoughts, intentions, and perspectives are different from your own. And humor requires this high-order cognitive process called incongruity resolution. So your brain has to hold like 2 contradictory ideas at once and then realize that one of those is a joke. And then you kind of resolve that incongruity by laughing. Like, oh, haha, I get the joke. If someone lacks the ability to quickly decode those social cues, they can treat everything you say as a literal thought. It's not that they're bad people, they're just literal thinkers in this world that's filled with nuance. Okay, so I was asking the internet, how do I identify when someone's just a literal thinker? How do you know? So, one is called the immediate literalism test. If you say something clearly sarcastic, like, oh, I just love waiting in a 3-hour line, they'll respond with, like, why would you like something like that? It's efficient. You probably should not enjoy standing in line for 3 hours. So they miss the irony, the sarcasm in what you said. So if someone responds to you like that, you can be like, oh, okay, this person's a very literal person. So maybe when you're being your witty, sarcastic self, you could, no, maybe I'm offending them because they're really, they don't know that I'm joking, kind of thing. It helps you understand other people, I guess is what I'm saying. So there's something called the lack of facial sync, like syncing your face. You mirror people when you talk to them, typically. When you're listening to someone, you're doing aha cues, and if they're smiling, you're typically smiling. So if you're telling a joke, watch these people's faces. Watch people's faces. If they don't mirror your smile, or if their expression stays completely neutral while you're laughing, then they're not feeling the humor in what you just said. Also, this third one is something I came up. I guess I wasn't telling a joke. Okay, I'll have to explain this situation. This third one, it's called the defensive rebuttal. If you make a joke and then jump straight into correcting, that person jumps in to correct you or defend themselves, it's a sign they've taken your content literally and they're not processing the intent of the communication. So we were riding the train back from our cruise, and well, I had a few different kind of like crazy interactions on my way into the train, and then we finally get to our seats. There's no place to put our heavy luggage, so I leave it off to the side. I'm like trying to figure out, and someone was sitting in our seat, and then they switched seats so my husband and I could sit together. All this is happening, and then as soon as we sit down, they're like, oh, did you come from a cruise? My husband's like, yeah. Well, which cruise line? Well, where did you go? And I had just told my girlfriend the week before, I'm like, I personally don't know why people ask, where did you go when you went on a cruise? Because typically, as soon as I say, oh, I've been to Belize and Cozumel, and oh, it's the Bahamas, it's whatever, they have nothing else to add. There's no other discussion. It's like, well, what did you do in Belize? Well, did you go see those monkeys? That's what I did when I went to Mahogany Bay, or, some sort of communication. And it used to be when I book a trip, I don't even look at the ports because typically I just more value the ship I'm on. So when this guy asked me, well, where did you go? Where did you go? And I was just on 2 different cruises, and then I feel like this pressure, like, oh, I have to remember everything. Okay, well, where did I go that first week? And then I said, oh yeah, I told my girlfriend I'm gonna start asking people, why are you asking that question? So I said, hey, before I answer you, I just was wondering, why are you asking me that? Why do you want to know where we went? And the guy got really defensive and was a little nasty about it. And then his wife jumped in, and they were both like, well, what if you went to somewhere like Curacao and it's a very exotic place? And I said, oh no, I just want to know why people ask. And they're like, well, it's small talk. And I'm like, yeah, it's small talk, but it's small talk that makes me have to invest some mental energy into recounting my itinerary. So I feel like there's a burden put on me to give you information that you don't even really care about. So this defensive rebuttal, and I wasn't telling a joke or anything. I'm like, hey, I just want to know why you're asking me that question. And then they got really defensive. So just know, if you're telling a joke and someone gets defensive about something you're joking about, they might not have gotten the humor, and they're a very literal person. So before I get into my closing, I almost want to address the thing with the Jimmy Kimmel There's, I don't even know what to say, you guys. There's so many different takes on it. Like, the joke writers or the writers on Jimmy Kimmel Show wrote the joke that Melania has the glow of an expectant widow. This was just days before another attempt on her husband's life was made. And it was a joke. He meant it as a joke, maybe. But like I said, there's people out there who don't take this as a joke, who hear these sarcastic, nasty things and will act on them. You guys, it's I'm sure a staff member wrote the joke. It went through a vetting process. Someone approved the joke, the editor, the producer, whoever. Jimmy told the joke, and the audience laughed. So I don't know. I feel like I have a sense of humor and I can take a joke, but it's like when you know there's like crazy people out there who will hear that kind of thing and be like, maybe I could get a laugh out of someone if I killed this person. It can be dangerous. So really know who you're talking to. Pay attention if you're telling jokes and someone's not laughing. They may be taking what you're saying literally. It's important. It really is. It's a way to try to narrow the divide between people, try to bring us more closer together, and be aware when someone is not getting the joke, you know. So my closing here, I just wanted to talk about how this explains a lot of how our world's becoming more polarized. When people get irrationally angry at a joke or this complex cultural comments, it's often because they're processing it through a literal filter. If you're an architect of your own life, your job is to stop being surprised when people react predictably based on their own limitations. So, your homework today, my homework today, observe the next conversation you have. And when you say something lighthearted, watch the person's reaction. So don't judge them. You can just take inventory of what's happening and remember in your mind, oh yeah, this person's a really literal person. I'm not going to be too jokey or sarcastic about them or around them. Just keep the peace, keep them comfortable. You want your conversant partner in a conversation to be comfortable, not to be offended, not to be confused. So you can, just a little tip on how to have a conversation. You'll save yourself so much energy in the long run. Tomorrow, let's see what I want to talk about. A mirror of mental states, like how you can mirror things. There's a lot of psychology behind that too. I can't wait to talk about it. But if anything I said today, you can read The Theory of Mind research. You can visit, it's called Frontiers in Psychology, and read about humor, how the comprehension of humor is actually used as a clinical test for social cognition. Also, the Humor Styles Questionnaire. You can look in the standard HSQ developed by Martin, and it categorizes people into 4 styles. Understanding the styles of humor helps you see why your humor might not be clicking with certain people. So I'm going to be trying to do those 2 things today. If anything I said sparked a thought, go ahead and leave a comment or a like. And please subscribe. Every day is a chance to learn and grow and become more of the wonderful person you are. The world is better with your light in it. So, thank you for sharing time with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a beautiful day. You're the Lord's precious ones. Bye!